because Roe v. Wade was just reversed for every individual who had the option to have a child in America. So I just want to read you something from today's dissent. From the moment of fertilization, a woman now has no right to speak of. I want to say this again. From the moment of fertilization, a woman in America has no right to speak of. No. So you're here today. You're here today for your sisters, for your mothers, for black women, for brown women, for immigrants, for undocumented individuals, from individuals who will have to travel out of state to obtain reproductive freedom. You are here today to fight for LGBTQ plus communities, for indigenous communities, for trans communities. You are here to fight for the people who fought before us, those who lost their lives 49 years ago for this fight. So I'm going to ask you something. Are you angry?
Yes!
I want you to feel everything that you've been feeling, that I've been feeling today. I want you to take all the rage inside of you, and when I count to 3, I want you to scream this rage so long that they hear you in Washington, D.C. Are you ready? Yes! 1, 2, 3! And now we have to keep screaming. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep going to November, because we can't go back. Because everybody that I've just mentioned to you, they can't go back. This means more than any one person. This means more than anyone elected. This is everyone here fighting for everyone around you. So I'm asking you, after you leave today, this isn't the end, and it sure as fuck is just the beginning. Thank you. Introduce somebody who is fighting nonstop at the municipal level. I want to introduce Commissioner of Coral Springs, Nancy Mateo, to speak to you today.
Well said, Emma. Let's give a shout out to Emma. And all the organizers that put this together in such short notice. Is Jasmine here today? All right. She's here in spirit. Thanks to radical Republicans like Ron DeSantis and Marco Rubio, and a handful of ultra-conservative justices on the Supreme Court, half a century of progress has been reversed over the course of 24 hours. What's the most heartbreaking about today's decision is we have a generation of young people that will no longer have full autonomy of their bodies because Republicans think they should make healthcare decisions about us. Make no mistake, this decision rolls back the freedom that we fought so hard for and is going to jeopardize the health of millions of people across the country because abortions will still happen, but they'll be unsafe. We already know what impact that decision will have on pregnant people. After the decision leaked last month, Republicans across the country, including Ron DeSantis and his allies in the Florida legislature, got to work on legislation that would completely ban abortions with no exceptions, limit access to reproductive health care, and even outlaw some forms of contraceptives. If Republicans get their way, they'll impose even more restriction on Floridians' freedom. The SCOTUS ruling makes it even more important to deny Ron DeSantis a second term as governor. He's already shown he'll stop at nothing to attack reproductive freedom, and you can be sure that he will try to enact a complete abortion ban in Florida this upcoming legislative session. This is just the beginning for Ron DeSantis when it comes to rolling back our freedoms. His unpopular policies threaten to make Florida one of the most regressive and unfree states in the nation. And if he runs for president, which he spends most of his time doing, he will do the same for the entire country. On the other hand, we have Marco Rubio. He has one of the most extreme records in the Senate when it comes to restricting women's rights to control their own bodies and to get the reproductive health care they need. Rubio is a lapdog for the Republican Party and has sacrificed our freedoms for his career. Now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, Rubio and his Republican colleagues can pursue their dangerous agenda at the national level, making abortion completely illegal across the country. And they have made it very clear that they aren't stopping here. They are going to keep stripping away our freedoms and rolling back our rights, including the ones that we cherish: the right to privacy, interracial marriage, gay marriage, and birth control. This is why it is so important we make our voices heard. So I'm calling on all of you to fight back and let these radical politicians know just how unpopular their policies are with the people. You are here today because you're mad. I'm mad. We all are mad. We cannot let the energy of feeling go away, so take the same energy back to your communities and to the ballot box. We've been asleep for way too long. We are facing the consequences now. My call to action for you all today is to vote and organize. Vote and organize for me. Vote and organize for you. Vote and organize for the woman standing next to you. Vote and organize for us. Organize for a Florida and an America that we should be proud of. Go out and vote. Thank you.
Coming up next, we have Aurelie Colon.
My pronouns are she, they, and I am the policy advocate for the Latina Institute for Reproductive Justice, Florida. Buenas tardes a todos, mi nombre es Aurelie Colon Larrauri, mis pronombres son ella y ella, y soy la defensora de políticas del Instituto Latino para la Justicia Reproductiva de Florida. Nice, thank you. I don't even know what to say at this point, y'all. I mean, Black, brown, indigenous, folks of color have been sounding the alarms for years, saying that this day would come, and it has come. Communities pushed to the margins have already been living in a post-Roe reality. Immigrants, folks with lower incomes, folks with disabilities, Black people, Latinas, Latines, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, trans and gender diverse people have all faced intentional structural barriers that prevent them from accessing reproductive health care, which includes abortion care. The Supreme Court has gone against the will of the people again. Poll after poll has found that people in this country want abortion care to remain legal and protected. At Latina Institute, we know that the courts will not protect us and have never worked for all of us. We need to look beyond the courts and continue to mobilize and work together to ensure a just and equitable access to abortion care for everyone. While we are here, fueled by our very valid anger, we must remember that white people with financial means will always have access to abortion care. Folks without financial privilege, folks in the working class who cannot take multiple days off of work, folks who cannot afford child care, and those are the folks that will be impacted the most and need to be centered in these conversations. We must come together and support Black, Indigenous, immigrants, queer, and trans and disabled folks as we maneuver this new world that we're about to live in. We must give our financial support to local abortion funds, which include ARC Southeast, Florida Access Network, Women's Emergency Fund, Broward Women's Emergency Fund, Tampa Bay Abortion Fund, and Emergency Medical Assistance Incorporated. And you can find medication abortion pills at plancpills.org. Our community will always show up for us, always, and we will save us every day. Thank you.
Next up, we have a woman who has fought non-stop since she was 25 years old for Florida communities, our incredible Congresswoman, Debbie Wasserman-Schultz.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna hobble my way up here. It's a lot of years that we've been at this. Help me. It's a lot of years that we've been at this, and I'm devastated to say today that an extremist Supreme Court majority just turned women's bodies into government property today. They just ruled for millions of women that the state will now dictate when you can have a family. They said women do not control our own bodies, the state does. But let me tell you, right here and right now, November is coming. Go back, say it with me.
We will not go back.
One more time.
We will not go back.
These radical jurists who lied to America and every senator at their confirmation hearings just made it legal to force pregnancy upon millions of women, whether they want it or not. But say it with me again.
We will not go back.
These same right-wingers who oppose health care, child care, and nutrition assistance for children just took away women's right to decide when they can have children. But again, we will not go back. We will not turn back the clock. And make no mistake, these extremists are not just targeting half of America in this judicial attack. They took aim at women who are poor, those who work, those who are single, or women of color. So say it with me again.
We will not go back.
In certain parts of the United States, women are now no longer free and equal citizens, according to this radical Republican court. But we
will not go back.
This week, this court said that guns have more rights than women do in this Constitution. My friends, if you want to own, shoot, or wave a gun in public, this radical court majority has your constitutional back. But if you can get pregnant, the Constitution, they claim, has nothing for you. It offers you no rights. On that, we
will not go back.
This war on women will not end abortions. Make no mistake. It will just make them more dangerous. This takeover of women's bodies also destroys their financial stability. This legal attack, marshaled by nearly all male right-wing judges, is aimed at all you working moms, the ones who maybe already have a child but cannot afford another one. It's aimed at older women whose bodies cannot withstand the health impact of another child. It's aimed at women who cannot afford to drive 3 states away or take 3 days off work just to protect her current family. This decision is aimed at women and men who have too little money, not enough family supports, or the inability to travel to get care. This radical decision turns neighbor on neighbors who seek health care and to protect their own bodies and their own families. This decision sows chaos into our nation as a patchwork of conflicting abortion laws are unleashed across America. This decision today leaves American women with less rights, and it is the first time that the United States Supreme Court has taken away a right in American history. The first time. It's an abomination. This decision is a repulsive, immoral erosion of women's constitutional and human dignity and autonomy. It's a decision that shows how far these extremist Republicans and their judicial picks are out of step with America. But remember two things. We still have abortion rights here in Florida.
Yes.
And we need to fight like hell to keep those rights.
Yes.
And don't think for one moment that these radical Republicans will stop at abortion, my friends. Just read Justice Thomas's dissent, or concurrent decision. These extremists are coming after contraception, gay marriage, interracial marriage, and in vitro fertilization. No right that is based on the right to privacy is safe. They made that clear today. It is all on their Republican radical radar. But we're not done either, are we?
No.
We're not done either. Are we going to take this bullshit lying down?
No.
I'm sorry, that was not very congressional. But these justices declared war on women. We will not back down from this fight. We will not go back. We will not go back. We will not go back. We will not go back to being second-class citizens. Hell, we were barely considered citizens who had no rights. And they're just going to slowly start turning that clock back so they tighten the noose around our necks. I am mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. We will not go back. We will not go back. Now let's take to the streets, demand our rights, and round up all the relatives, friends, and co-workers you can. November is coming, my friends. Let's go and let's fight. And let's make sure we stand up for all the women we love in this country. Thank you so much.
Want to talk about a hell of a congresswoman? Somebody who can multitask like that? That's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Next up, we have somebody whose mission to fight for children, family, and women's has caused her to go viral, not just in our state, but throughout the country. I'm so proud to have here today Senate Leader Lauren Book.
A month ago, we stood here, Emma, and we asked, are you mad as hell? Are you mad?
Yes.
Are you mad?
Yes.
We will not go back. My friends, today here in the crowd, there is a generational family. There's a little girl, there's a mom, and there's a grandma. And as I got to meet the grandma for the first time, I felt the need, Senator Polsky felt the need to apologize. To apologize because she was in Washington. She was fighting so that we had Roe to always be there to protect us. And here we are today with her granddaughter, and we have to apologize. We have to apologize that today we are living in a post-Roe world. Are we mad?
Yes.
Are we mad?
Yes.
We will not go back. And all of us are here. November is coming. We have a responsibility because guess what? It's back on states' rights. So what are we going to do? We will not
Go back.
November is coming. And let me say this, as a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, as someone who shared on the floor of the Florida Senate a horrific gang assault that I had to endure, to be told that there is no exemption for rape, incest, and human trafficking. What type of cruel and unusual punishment are we placing on women today? We will not
Go back.
We
Will not go back.
Are we angry?
Yes.
We are. November is coming. And let me again echo one more thing. Today in the state of Florida, it is still okay to get an abortion. It is okay. Come July 1st, it is still okay for you to seek reproductive health care. That's important. We have gotten so many calls into our office today about women who just don't know what to do. They're scared. We are not a trigger state. Call, keep your appointments. It's so important that you understand what your rights are. But again, let's end with a chant.
We will not go back.
Again.
We will not go back.
Again.
We will not go back.
And we are sorry for for having this grandma here who fought so hard and so long to get us to where we are today. But I promise you, that little girl who's standing with you, who was here a month ago, is going to continue to fight. And so are we, because we are mad as hell.
We're being led by the pro-life party, right? It's the party of pro-life that allows victims of sexual assault, of rape, of incest, of sex trafficking to have no autonomy, right? Is this who we're following? Is this who we're gonna let run Florida?
No!
Damn right. Next up, we have somebody whose very life, whose very career is based upon helping secure reproductive freedom. I'm so proud to